Good morning. It's Thursday. Wishing you a great day ahead. Welcome to today's episode of Morning Wealth. We'll talk about three things. Sands no longer in Las Vegas. ETF flows info. NFP tomorrow. What to expect. US gasoline inventories fell by the most since 1990, dropping by 13.62 million barrels and sending oil in New York up 2.5%. On the other hand, crude stockpiles rose by the most in records going back to 1982 in the wake of the chill that crippled Texas, climbing 21.56 million barrels last week, all this according to EIA data. Refinery usage rate slumped to 56%, the lowest on record. Traders' attention will now turn to OPEC's meeting on Thursday. That's what happened with oil. And on the yields, the 10-year yields were up more than 7 basis points to about 1.47%, putting them on track to the highest close since last Thursday's dead sell-off. Combined with oil prices, the two helped send a market proxy for the anticipated annual inflation rate for the next half a decade above 2.5% for the first time since 2008. Both of this spooked the equity markets. The Nasdaq was down 2.7%, falling for the second consecutive day. The tech-heavy index has slumped 7.8% from its February 12th peak. The S&P 500 also was down 1.3%. The Dow was also down by about 0.4%. The Fed's Beige Book revealed the US economy continued to grow modestly at the start of the year, but some industries such as leisure and hospitality continue to be challenged by the COVID restrictions. The dollar in the meantime rose against all the G10 basket. Gold retreated. Asian equity futures are in the red. In terms of sectors, no surprises there. Energy did the best with an increase of 1.43%. Financials and industrials were also in the green. Most of the other sectors were all in the red. Consumer discretionary and information technology was down more than 2%. In company news, Lyft was higher 8.2% after the ride-sharing company disclosed strong February ride figures late Tuesday, which we spoke about in yesterday's episode. Competitor Uber Technologies was also up 2.7%. Snowflake lost less than expected and forecast revenue for the current period that topped estimates, but shares were down during the day and extended their decline after close. Las Vegas Sands will sell its properties in Las Vegas to Apollo and VC Properties for about $6.25 billion, refocusing the casino operator to its Asian resorts and other potential opportunities in the US. Apollo will run the properties, which will be owned by VC. The Venetian, the Palazzo and related facilities contributed less than 15% of the company's revenue in 2019. Las Vegas Sands rose and VC slipped. On ETFs, the US ETFs tracking stocks just notched their best month of inflows on record, with traders pouring in almost $86 billion into equity funds in February. Vanguard's S&P 500 ETF led the way, getting in about $11 billion, also a record. The trend underscores investors' unflinching bullishness and prospects for additional fiscal stimulus and the COVID-19 vaccine rollout, alongside continued support from the Federal Reserve despite a recent surge in Treasury yields. Even the worst performance in almost a year has done little to diminish demand for Cathie Wood's brand. The ARK Innovation ETF, the main fund at Wood's ARK Investment Management, notched its second biggest inflow ever on Friday. The $464 million injection came on the heels of a 4-day rout that had sent the fund down more than 15%, showing the willingness of investors to buy the dip. The ETF added another $147 million on Monday. This was interesting, and I thought I'll mention this. The world's biggest inflation-protected bond ETF has been hit by its largest outflow on record, the latest sign that cross-asset reflation frenzy is cooling. Investors just pulled about $944 million from BlackRock's TIPS ETF. That's by far the largest withdrawal in more than 17-year history of the product, which buffers investors in government debt against growth in consumer prices. From oil to copper, investing strategies betting that US economy will run hot this year are losing a little steam. Lastly, on the FX front, the rise in the 10-year rates drove the US dollar higher against most major currencies. US data was also disappointing, raising concerns for Friday's job report. According to private payroll provider ADP, 117K new hires were made in February, significantly less than the 177K forecast. Service sector activity also slowed, with the ISM index dropping to 55.3 from 58.7. The employment component of the report, which has strong correlation with NFPs, dropped to 52.7 from 55.2. Economists are hoping that Feb would be a better month for jobs, and while they expect non-farm payrolls to rise above 100K, today's report suggests that it may fall short of the 180K forecast. The prospect of a weaker NFP could weigh on the dollar, especially dollar yen, whose latest rally took the pair right up to the 100-week SMA, which is at 107.25, an important resistance level. That's the update. Stay safe and healthy, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.